Hey guys, this is going to be another short one. I want to talk to you today about my photographic PTSD. Even though I'm not really in most of the things I do for the money, I love photography, but I'm terrible at trying to sell myself for it. And I love writing, I just hate selling the books, and I love drawing and illustrating, and I hate it when I have to take on a commission, especially if it is from people who think they know what they want, and I spend 90% of the time arguing with them to trust me as a professional. A long story short, around April last year I took on a job on a cruise ship. I have a bucket list of crazy things I want to try in my life, and this was one of the things on the list. I am fairly prone to doing things that are wildly uncomfortable. I've done things normal people, especially normal women, wouldn't consider doing. I didn't do it for the money, I did it because I thought at the time it was gonna be great fun. And for most intents and purposes, the harder the job, the more I enjoyed it. Now, you have to be a certain kind of person to go work on a ship. I enjoy very small spaces. I enjoy long hauls. I can pretend to be on a spaceship. I like iron. I like discipline. I like functioning engines and machinery that involves people. One without the other would stop or sink or just rust and fall apart. But you really shouldn't do for a living things you thought you want to spend your whole life doing for fun. It is a bad idea. It is like falling in love with your best friend and marrying them. It just, when it ends badly, you've lost a husband and a lover and a friend at the same time. What we did on that ship broke my heart. It was a slave ship. It paid people so little. And we were one of the better paid ones, the photographers. We worked on commission. We knew that when there was no money, we were the ones who screwed up. Whereas people like the deckhands and the maids and the cooks and the cleaners in the kitchen and those people were worked to the bone for so little money. It was a British ship, so they really employed Filipino crew because the Filipinos are extremely hardworking. They don't complain much and they don't get paid much, but whatever they get paid, they send home to their families. Basically, they were slaves. The contracts for them were 9 months. That is 9 months working every day, all day, very little free time, and not a day vacation. And then your contract expires and you don't even know if they're going to call you back. Our contracts were 8 months. I lasted 4. Now the great parts about cruise ships, you travel, you see all the wonderful cities, and you were so happy to dock and run out and have fun. It feels like the best thing in the world. It feels like you just crossed the desert and just had your first drink of water, ironically. But the bad things, you meet some of the worst people. People who are so miserable that they are snakes. And I apologize to snakes. They will find you, and I'm talking about other crewmates. They will find you and catch you doing something that you didn't even know you were not supposed to be doing. Like once after hours, it was about half an hour past midnight, and I undid my ponytail. I didn't know you were not supposed to do that. And I got so reprimanded. The problem was, my immediate superior, he was one of the worst people I have ever met in my entire existence. When you're talking about misogyny in a world of privilege and whatever, you have not met a true misogynist with an ounce of power over people locked in an iron boat. Truly, he was a human torture device. But that's not the part that broke me, because I've met assholes before, and now that I look back, it was actually kind of funny. He tried so hard to make people's lives miserable, especially women, because he dreaded the men. The part that broke my heart was the kind of photographs we did, and they were terrible. They were ghastly. And we sold them for so much money. We forced them on people who didn't want to buy them. We sold so much. Such garbage. My job most of the time as a newbie was to convince people that they really want to have their picture taken. When you get over that shameful part, when you get over the whoring of this service you're providing, and you make the photos and they are so bad, and you sell them convincing them that these are the stolen moments of happiness that you've made for them. They don't have to buy it, but it's beautiful memory and so on and so forth. It was really bad. Me, a person who doesn't own any money, at all, because I am terrible with money. I can't make it past a bookstore. Or an arts and crafts shop, I can't do it. So I never have any money on me. Never. If there's something I want, I have to justify it to people who handle money for me. And I was the one who had to do the selling. When I came back, after 4 months, I felt so bad. I felt so sold out. I would understand if I went all out on selling something that I was really proud of. Sometimes I make something that I think it's the best thing I've done, and I'm proud of it, and I'm really willing to fight to convince people it's really nice, and it deserves to go on a wall somewhere and be looked at and be beautiful. But these things were horrible. So I came back, and I haven't picked up a camera since. I have picked it up when I really had to, when my friends asked me to do stuff, but not to portray people. I haven't done it. And I was a portraitist before. I thought it was pretty good. I tried to crawl a little bit out of this depression by letting it, air itself out. I asked to borrow an inspiration from Apricot when she started. I convinced her to buy a camera, and she bought this tiny itty-bitty macro, and she started photographing flowers in the middle of winter, close up. And I asked if I can take a picture of the same flower from the same angle. It's the worst thing you can possibly do. It's the thing that I hate most about any form of expression, unoriginality. Just don't be unoriginal. I can forgive most of other stuff. I can forgive lack of craft, lack of experience and education, and even the lack of machinery, but don't be unoriginal. And I had to go from the bottom up, asking if I may borrow her inspiration. So slowly and surely, I started taking pictures of plants, occasional dog, occasional landscape, more plants, macros, some bugs, and so on and so forth. The thing is, in a few days, a friend of mine from America is coming over, and she's so pretty, and she's really photogenic. She really wants to be photographed, and she's not camera shy at all. I have to get my shit together by the time she comes here, because she wants us to take like 1 million pictures. She wants to rent out a studio, and let's just go, full throttle. Freaks me out, but I got this.